Good morning, everybody. This is the third time that I've done this video. How is everybody doing today? Everybody keeps calling me. I need to turn off my notifications. Weekly Gospel for Reflections. This is Tom. Today is the 22nd of March of 2025. It's 10:12 in the morning, and I started at 9:45 this morning doing these videos. So this video now, we're going to be talking about how often should you pray. I wake up praying to Heavenly Father. And meaning as good morning, Jesus. Good morning. And then I get my wits about me and whatever. I shave, get ready, maybe a snack, or then I say, okay, I read the Bible for a few minutes before I head out in the car. And I pray before I read and ask him, may I listen to the words, and then read. And I may read a chapter. I may read, 20, 30 verses. I may read 10 verses. It just depends. And I think, how often should we pray? As you know, in 1 Thessalonians 5:17, it says, pray without ceasing. Pray all the time. In Matthew 7:7, it said, ask and it will be given to you. How many times have you asked for something and God has given you that gift? You may not think that you want it, but he gives it to you before. In other words, like, oh, wow, God gave me the gift I just asked for. God sometimes will test you, meaning he'll get you what you want, but he wants to see what you do with that gift. If you praise his name, if you don't praise his name, whatever you do. See, because once you get what you're asking for, don't stop praying. Because a lot of people, what they do is say, oh, God's given me what I asked for, okay. And they stop praying for 6 months, or 2 months, or 5 months, or whatever, or a year. They might pray to God occasionally. But before, they were religiously praying to God, all the time. Pray without ceasing. And as you know, I am not perfect. Do I pray all the time? I try to pray all the time. I try to pray going down the road. I try to pray before I get in my car. I try to pray before I leave the house. I try to pray before I eat. And my worst fault is I'll just grab something, grab it, open it up, and as I'm chewing, I go, I didn't pray. That's my fault. I do that all the time. So what is this? Then I'll go for a month solid, and I pray every meal. The next 10 times, it's just whatever. It's a thought. So it's spending the time with God. If you think about this in James 5:16, the prayer of the righteous person is powerful and effective. So when you pray that you're going to do the right thing. Pray that you're going to be righteous. Pray that people see you that are in a positive way. Pray that God is going to help you in any given situation. Pray that may God listen to you. And I think a lot of times people don't really realize that prayer is something that can actually help you get through a current situation. Now, a lot of times people have asked me this, do you have a guardian angel? Is a guardian angel around you to help you? Yes, I believe that I have one. I believe everybody has one. I don't believe the guardian angels, they're shared. I think there's just angels everywhere. And I think they're walking among us and they see each other. We're all walking down the road. I'm driving in the car. I think an angel's with me. Because sometimes I'll get a nudge, or not necessarily a nudge, a feeling. Slow up, slow up, slow up. And then realize that there's an accident right ahead, or there's something I was speeding too fast. And then it nudged, or this thing in my mind says, slow down, stop, because there's an accident, or there's a guy writing 15 tickets out there, and there's a speed trap, and many different things. And I think what you should do is take a look at you personally and make your own decisions. Years ago, Ruth and I used to do, we had this book. We would write things in our book. We would write 10 things. 10 things in our book every morning. It could be material things. It could be health. Good health. Please give me good health. It could be things about what you want to write about. Then once you write the 10 things down, you read the Bible and write what you read. In other words, like in Acts 16, Timothy joins Paul and Silas. So you write about that, however much you want to write. Then you write about the things that you want and desire. And you could be one page. I mean, I used to write 5, 6, 7, 8 pages. I have written 10 pages, and I have written just one page for a day. I do that, just do that every morning. I stopped doing it since I came to the States. Really, I did it for a long time till COVID hit. And I think depression kind of hit me there in the Philippines because I couldn't get out and go anywhere. And I didn't lose faith, but I lost doing some of the things I used to do because you couldn't get out, and I was stuck, and my family was stuck. We're all stuck. Me and our were stuck in the house, and we're stuck together. And she was getting on my nerves, I was getting on her nerves. And the thing of it is that's what happens. So what you have to do is make a decision. If you want to pray or write in a book, write in a book. But what I used to do is I'd write in that book. And it was really 3 things that I really wanted. I wanted some type of material car. I wanted some type of land that I could live comfortably and retire and stay there forever. And the third thing, what was the third thing? Car and health. I think it was health, yeah, and guidance. And luckily, he gave me all 3. He gave me all 3. Health, guidance, and everything. Even though I did get sick there, I did get sick many times there. More sick there than here in the United States of America. But see, there, the doctors and the medicines and the prescriptions and things like that are not as plentiful and not as, how can I say, you can't go to the store and buy a lot of the stuff. You can get antibiotics off the shelf, really about it. But if you had to go to the store and buy cough medicine, you couldn't get it. You needed some type of prescription, so you need to go to the doctor. Where here, you can buy cough medicine, you can buy NyQuil, you can buy Theraflu, you can buy many things like that. There you cannot. Now I think you can order it through an online company like Lazada, but it's really hard. So we would do that. We'd write them down and read the Bible at least 10, 15 minutes, and then did that every day in Desires, and did that for a while. I think a lot of times where people fall short is when you pray, you're thinking, okay, well, I want these things, you want them now. And people think that if they don't get it, they kind of lose hope. The thing of it is you have to really stay focused on that and keep praying for it. I recently been, having a hard time with my wife and getting immigration and getting those paperwork done and getting involved in that and getting it active and, doing the things to get it where I can bring her here. Well, the system is broke and the system's not working and so I really had to pray about that. I've had to pray about it, pray about it. And recently we got our prayers answered. So what we need to do is we need to always pray to God. He will answer them. It may not be in our time. Did I get frustrated? I got so frustrated so many times you have no idea. Why am I doing all this? What purpose is this? Am I really helping anybody by doing this? I think a lot of times too, prayer is something that we often take it for granted that God is helping us. We need to thank Him every day. Here's a verse here that I have here in Philippians 4:6. Do not be anxious about anything, but in everything by prayer with thanksgiving, and let your requests be known to God. God doesn't know what you need until you tell Him. And you got to pray honestly and earnestly, meaning you got to sit down in a quiet place. You got to have time with God, and you pray to Him and ask Him for the guidance. In Mark 11:24, it also says, therefore I tell you, whatever you ask in prayer, believe it, that you received it, and it will be yours. That was the one verse that really made my decision to keep praying and praying and praying. And you have to believe that you received it. And that's what I started doing. And that's when God answered my prayer. Believe it, and you shall receive it. See it happening. In prayer, you've got to see it. So for an example, good health. Maybe you're sick. Maybe you're not feeling well. My good friend has COVID. So I said a prayer and seeing him sick, but he got up and he's done with it. And that's what we need to do. We need to see ourselves getting up, doing it, and getting away from it, and it's behind us. Go forward. Remember, the past is all the past. There's nothing you can do about it. Only thing God tells you is go forward and do. Get up off the floor. Get up if you cannot walk. Get up and walk. Jesus said that many times. How many people did he heal? And he say to them, get up and walk. Get up off the floor. You have enough faith. You believe in me. Get up and walk, and it shall be done. See, Jesus, and God says this even to Moses so many times, you may not can speak to the Pharaoh, but Aaron can. So I will send Aaron with you to help you get through it until you get to the level that you need to be to get out of, bring my people out of Egypt. I want my people away from Egypt. And the Pharaoh kept hardening his heart. Pharaoh just kept hardening his heart to the point where Pharaoh says, I can't take this anymore. And then God would put another calamity, another catastrophe on them. Flies, frogs, the blood of the Nile would really just wake me up. And all the people standing there with the sea parted and the ground was dry. Me as a Israelite walking across that would wake me up and say, there is a God. There is no way that can be. And there is a God. And not only that, they went through the calamities also. Now, it hailed in Egypt, and the hail was on fire. But the thing of it is also, they still couldn't believe it. Man, I tell you, that will wake me up. I want to thank everybody for watching my videos, and thank you so much. Prayer is something that you should do earnestly and honestly all the time. Whenever you feel like it, you need to pray. And when you don't feel like it, you need to pray. I find myself, I need to pray. God bless everybody, and I'll see you next time on Weekly Gospel.